Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and I'm going to start this weekend by showing you how I put together some planters for the cemetery because it is Memorial Day. And it doesn't take very long. You just need to get a little organized beforehand. So here we go. So if you look here, I've got these two planters. I'm going to be making one for my dad and one for my husband. And I've got some rock that I'm going to put in the bottom of these so that they will drain without the soil leaving. I've got the soil activator we've talked about. I've got some tomato and plant food. And then I've got the 4 plants that I'll be putting in these pots. And then if you notice up there, there's some more flowers. Those will be going into some just plantings that I'm going to do here around the house. So hang tight and we'll get started in just a minute. All right, so we're going to get started. I don't know if you noticed a minute ago, but there used to be a plug in here, and I've taken that plug out. They're really easy to pop in and out. Some pots don't have a plug that you can just push out. Sometimes you have to take a drill and drill a hole in them, but that will be plenty of drainage for this plant, the pot this size it is. So we're going to start with that, and I'm going to dump a little bit of rock in there. So the reason that I put the rock in there is so that the soil won't go through and drain out that drain hole. And it does add a little bit of weight, but not too much. There have been some pots that I've made that I put way too much rock in, and I don't realize that that is the way it is until I go to lift them up and can't. So anyway, just spread that around, make it pretty even. And then we've got some potting soil here, or not soil, potting mix here. And it is a combination of fertilizer and soil. It has compost in it. It's just got a bunch of different things in it that will be good for these plants. And it also is really good to hold moisture. So I'll go ahead and get this dirt put in there and then I'll holler back at ya. So I filled these about halfway full of soil. And then I'm going to add about a handful of that soil activator to each pot. And yes, my hands are going to be nice and dirty after that, but I forgot my cup, so that's the way it is. And also at that halfway mark, I'm going to put a little bit of this fertilizer in. Now, if you notice, that fertilizer has it's a 722/8, and if you remember the fertilizer video, that 22 is for down or for the root system, and this fertilizer will start helping them to get their roots going so that they'll have real strong roots. They'll be a good, healthy plant. As the weeks go on, every week, a pot needs to be fertilized. And it doesn't matter if it's a small pot like this or if it's a great big pot, but they need to have some kind of fertilizer. And a lot of times I'll just use a water-soluble fertilizer, and something like Miracle-Gro. But you have to do that every week because there's not very much nutrition in these little tiny planters. And these plants will take a lot of nutrition during the year. So I'll go ahead and finish that. I'll just stir that up a little bit, and then I'll finish filling it up with dirt, and then we'll plant the plants. Now I filled these up about 3/4 of the way. After I put the fertilizer in, I put that potting mix in, and I gave these flowers a really good long drink of water. I don't want to fill these containers with water because they're going to make them really heavy and I need to take them to the cemetery. But when I get them down to the cemetery, I'll go ahead and give them a big long drink. And then I'll probably leave them up there until Monday night or Tuesday morning. And each day I'll go up and give them a big drink as well. So now I just want to show you what we're going to do with these plants. These plants you're going to notice there's a couple of different, I just bought these at the nursery. And there's a couple of different kinds of petunias in this one, and the roots are pretty good. They're not too root bound, but I might open them just a little bit, not too much. Some on the bottom, you see that? Just open them a little bit, and then I just kind of make a little well in there and put them in. Now, you don't want these to be over the top of this planter. Because if you do that, then the water's just going to go, and when you water them, it's just going to go off to the side and the plants aren't going to get any water. So I just kind of put this on one side, and then I'm going to take another one, and I think I'll use this one. I kind of like the red, white, and blue. My dad's a veteran, and so this one will probably go on his grave. And anyway, but if you notice, this one's not quite got as much root system as that last one. But I'll go ahead and just make a little well here on the side for this one, and I'll put her in there. See how pretty that is? And it didn't take any time at all. So now what I'll go ahead is I'll go ahead and fill these other areas up with this potting mix, and then they'll be all ready to go to the cemetery. And I don't know if you noticed that, but it probably only took, well, less than 30 minutes to pot one of these. And it's a lot less expensive than if you go down to the nursery and buy them the ones that are already potted. So I'll finish these, and then I'll give you a look at what the final product is. All right, so we're all done with putting those pots together, and this is what the finished product looks like. So there you go. Those little spots that you can see, they will fill in no time, and as long as I keep feeding these will continue to grow the entire season. And I think they're really pretty. They're easy. I think this only probably took me maybe half an hour to do all that, and that included me videotaping, which takes a lot more time, you know that. But we're going to head to the cemetery right now. We go to, I think, 3 cemeteries north of town, and then we'll go to our local cemetery and place the pots that we've done, and also the mums, and to show our love and appreciation to those ancestors and family that have gone before us. So you have a great day. Yes, I got my hands dirty, and we'll be doing some more videos when we start putting stuff in the garden.